Okay, our next our next weaving project will look like this when it's done. Only this plate has decorations on it and your plate is all white. I wanted you to have white plates so you could use this as a wall hanging. So you could just hang this right up on your wall and it kind of is a cool, cool weaving. And so we're going to be weaving in a circle. And once again, my plate has all these colorful things. Now you will notice that, actually, maybe not. Let's see. Okay, so you'll notice that there's kind of this big mess in here. And you will also notice that there are two strings. These two strings go to the same spot here. So I'm going to treat these as one string, not two. So those are kind of two important things for you to know, is that your plate probably has two strings going into one of these notches, and you want to make sure that you treat that as one. Okay? So I have already threaded my needle. Now I gave you 4 different yarns. By the way, if you have yarn at home and you want to use your own yarn, you can do that. But I gave you 4 different colors of yarn, and I gave you a lot. So, and you want to be really careful with it, because if it gets all tangled, that's like no fun. So you just want to be careful, and you can actually change colors if you wanted. This is probably about the length of yarn that I gave you. And you can see that there's different varying amounts. Okay, so to begin, we need to start off by tying the end. And I am going to stick this underneath and then pull my yarn through. Whoops, got a little knot. Just what I said don't do. If you get a knot, see what you can do to undo it. Okay, so I'm down near the end here. And you can see I just kind of stuck it underneath. And if I pull it up together like that, you can see it kind of made them a little bit better organized. So I am going to tie a knot just like I'm tying my shoe. So I went over the top and I'm sticking it underneath, and then I'm pulling it. And then I'm going to do that one more time. And then this tail, I want to make sure I've got a little bit of a tail, because I'm going to weave that tail right into one of these warp things, because that'll help give it more stability. Okay, and it won't come unwoven. Okay, so when it starts, it's a little funny. Okay, so I've got my string here. This is my string, and here's my warp. So I think I'm going to go under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Oops, my string pulled out, which is going to happen a lot, but that's okay. Hopefully you've learned how to thread the needle. Remember, there's 2 different ways that I showed you. Okay, so got to the end here. So now I'm going to pull this down to the middle, rethread my needle. Now, it is possible that you could do it by hand. So I will show you how to do it by hand without the needle if the needle is frustrating you. Okay, so I ended up here, and I've got it here by this warp thread. And you can see this warp thread is under this one, so that means this one has to be over. Now this one's going to go under, and this is my double thread, so I don't want to split it apart. This is under, over, under, over, under. Okay, this time I'm going to hold my thread like this, and then that way I won't pull it through. That is why I pulled it through. I was pulling the needle. Okay, oh, and here's that thread right there, so I'm going to pull this here. Okay. Pull it back. Okay, so this one is under, so that means this one's going to be over. under, over, under, over, under. And you can see when I'm weaving out away from the very middle, and then I just pull it down, which is kind of the same thing we were doing with our straight weaving, where we were pushing the threads down. And you just keep spinning your plate around. Let's see, we have over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And then we just keep going round and round and round. And the fun thing about this project is it will take you a while, but you can, do it while you're watching TV. Okay, so this one goes under. I'm going to have this one go over. Now I've got my warp thread here. I want to make sure that I'm pretending it is part, or that's my tail. I want to make sure I'm pretending it is part of my warp thread, so I can get it put inside. In fact, I'm just going to even hold it, and then I'm going to pull that like that. Okay. Now, you could also cut this a little smaller, like maybe make it in half, and then you would just have a smaller band going around. And then you could add this color in another spot. Okay, that's going over, so under, over, under, over, under, over. Okay, I think when I do finish this one here, I will try it. I will show you how to do it without the needle, if you'd like to do it without the needle. Okay, and then I'm going to keep pulling in here. Okay, so I'm going to try taking off my needle. There's a lot of yarn here. Okay, so this goes under, so I'm going to go over and under and over, under, over, under, and then I've got to pull all my thread around. Probably can't go as far when I do it by hand, but you can also do it by hand. Okay, let's see, where is this? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to actually bunch this up a little bit. And we have this one going over, so this is going to go under. Now if I bunch it up, it's a little harder because I basically have to pull it all the way through each time. I think I'm just going to go like this. So this is over, this one's under, over, under. And I got a knot. Yeah, I like using the needle much better. Okay. And if you decide, oh, I only want my middle to be this big, then you can go ahead and cut this off. When you cut it off, though, you want to make sure you leave a tail. First of all, I'd actually tie a knot, and then, or you could also tie a knot so these two are connected, and then you just keep weaving around and around to change colors. Or you could just use this all the way until you have it however big you want. And the middle will be a little bit black. You noticed here that the middle here is kind of black, but then it starts being just the color as you go out. So this is about 5 inches from here to here. So that's about as big as you can go with this. It seems like, oh, well, can I go all the way out? Well, pretty soon the loops start getting so big your weft starts getting so big that it won't be able to quite hold. And you can see, actually you can't see, but you can see some tails here. Those probably should be cut. So you can just keep weaving. You just want to make sure that you keep following the pattern of over, under, and you can just have fun and keep going. I don't think I need to keep talking and keep telling you what to do, because basically I have told you the important thing is make sure that you have 2 of these. Make sure you treat these like 2 together, and then we're trying to make sure that this gets included in the weaving. And then I'm going to actually cut it off once I feel like it has been woven in enough, which I might, like, when I come back around, I might just cut this little tail off. And then if I'm ready to start my next color, I think I would prefer to make this one, the middle, larger though. Anyways, so you can just keep going and have fun. And when you're done with this project, make sure you take a picture of you holding it up and send it to Miss Colleen. Bye-bye.